Hi guys, how are you? I hope everyone is doing well right now. I hope everything is going well for you. Please subscribe. I need to get my subscription numbers up, so I can be more motivated to make more videos. Because I always got something to say, man. But it's just time. Time is of the essence. Let me just say this thing, man. I look at the world. And I look at what's happening in Africa, and it saddens me. I've started to believe that, we might be left behind now even more, like where we are. If we set up things right, we could be where most countries are in the next 15 years. But I think that we could be left so far behind now. Instead of 15 years, it might even be like 300 years. And here's why I'm going to tell you this. Here's why I think we're going to be left behind. Okay? There's something happening called artificial intelligence, right? Okay, so first of all, you got actual intelligence, then there's artificial intelligence. Both of them are AI. That's just according to me. But here's one thing that's going on around the world right now. There's an industrial revolution happening. The same thing, like in the 2000s when the internet, or in the 90s when the internet started. Then we can go back when the steam engine started. That's what's happening right now. There's an industrial revolution that's going on right now. Okay? The reason why I say, why I think it's sad, because this industrial revolution, I don't see it happening in Africa. I'm from Zambia. No one is talking about it. It's not like I don't see it happening in Africa in the future. But right now, I don't think everyone is doing any preparations for this. I don't think anyone is kind of talking about this. Trying to say, this is happening. People are not even talking about it. That's the sad part. Okay? Now, yes, I'm originally from Zambia. And Zambia is one of the top producers of copper in the world. Right? Actually, the way they're trying to set things up right now, if things can go well, they'll be like in the top 5 copper producers. Now, why am I talking about copper? The reason why I'm talking about copper is this. This AI, for some of you guys who are not aware of it, for my people in Africa, that I know you are there's some who are already aware of this, but I think there's a huge majority of people who are not aware of this. And I think for us, most of the time, if you're watching this video, you're probably aware of it because you use YouTube, but I'm pretty sure you watch other things. But again, you might not even be aware of it. But what I would like you to do after watching this is to look into what I'm about to tell you. And then whatever you're going to find out, share with other people. Okay, because this is important. And that's the whole idea of having this YouTube. Don't watch things that don't add value to your knowledge. Like, don't watch stupid stuff. Like, honestly, don't. Okay? Watch something that's adding something to you. There's so many things you can do on YouTube. There's education after education, but there's also a lot of garbage. Okay? So, the reason why I'm saying this is this. So, there's a thing called artificial intelligence that's happening right now. That's changing how we do things. One of the poster child of artificial intelligence is OpenAI, ChatGPT. If you have never heard of it, Google it. When you Google it, try to get the app and just use it. Ask it anything. You see, it's gonna give you so many results. For you guys who wants to do business in Africa, be it farming, you can actually use ChatGPT to tell you what you need to grow in a particular place, what will be suitable for you to grow, and all those things. You can use ChatGPT to give you that. Okay? And I pray that most of you guys start using it. But for ChatGPT to function the way it's functioning, it needs a special kind of chips called GPUs. Now, one of the companies that's at the forefront of making these chips is called NVIDIA. It's NVIDIA. Some people say NVIDIA. Some people just can't be bothered to pronounce it. But hey, it's making them money. It's printing money, making it rain, and that's what they care about. But this is the company that's at the forefront of producing these chips. Other companies are trying to catch up, but this guy, the CEO of this is called Jensen Yang, or Yuhang, I think Heung. He's originally from Taiwan. He's a Taiwanese guy, but Taiwan American. He moved to America, or the parents moved to America when he was very young. So he's grown up in America, worked as a dishwasher at some point, and now he's worth over $100 billion. His company just overtook Apple as one. Is now probably the second biggest company in the world. And if it keeps the way it's going, it might even overtake Microsoft as one of the biggest companies in the world. Okay? And what I want you to look at, the reason why I'm saying this, and I want you to listen very carefully, very, very carefully here, because this is very important. Okay? So, these chips themselves, the electronics around it, they use a lot of copper. They use a lot of copper, like a lot of copper, because of its conductivity and all those things. So, a lot of copper are going into this. And if you look at the price of copper right now, it's gone up, like, by huge margin, I think 40% or something like that. And people are saying by 2030, this is what, 6 years from now, the price of copper might even quadruple. Imagine that. The price of copper going up 4 times. Okay? You know, the reason for that is because now there has to be more data centers need to be built. If data centers, please Google everything I'm saying, okay? And learn about this, because then you, even if you're doing business in Africa, you can start planning your things around this new industrial revolution that's happening. And I think if you prepare yourself, because there's no such thing as miracle. I know in Africa we love that. We love miracles. It's a miracle. Wow, it's a miracle. Guys, I don't believe in miracle. I believe in luck, but I believe there's preparation. You have to prepare for it. If miracles were a thing, Africa would be developed, because one day we'll just wake up and the miracle has happened. All the prayers that we pray, we wake up one day, it's peaceful, our roads are done, and blah, 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 and all those things. It never happens. I believe in preparation, I believe in hard work, and I believe in staying focused to achieve what you want to do. That's how Singapore did it. You know, I don't believe in miracles. I believe in luck. But luck has a preparation component. You can prepare, and then when you prepare, luck might fall into that. You know, like I bought Nvidia when it was like $200 or something like that. Today, it's like $1,200. Okay, when I say I bought Nvidia, I bought Nvidia stock when it was $200. Today, it's $1,200. Now, I can't say, oh, it's luck. No. Those preparation, I had to read a lot of stuff to find this company. Someone mentioned it to me. I looked into it, studied it, thought, okay. And when the ChatGPT dropped, I knew this thing was going to be something else. And it's proven that. Some people can say it's luck, I believe. Or some people can say it was a miracle. I don't think it was a miracle. Because there was preparation and then luck. You know, and that's when we change that mindset, we start things like that, we're going to start preparing more. Now, let me go back to the story. What are the reason for this video? So, these data centers needs to be upgraded for these chips to be used. So all the data centers around the world needs an upgrade, you know, because when these data centers gets upgraded, then you're going to find out that even autonomous driving is going to be possible. You know, these days those guys who own a Tesla and they've tried the self-driving, it's improved a lot. This thing, before you think, oh, this might never happen, but now it's like it's just a matter of when. You know, autonomous driving is real. Cars, you sit there and be reading a newspaper and the car is taking you to where you want to go. This is happening. And all this, if it's to be expanded everywhere, it needs data centers. You know, for all this ChatGPT and whatever to be processing, because they have to process information like that in seconds. They need data centers. They need a faster GPUs, and the GPUs are getting faster and faster and faster. This guy, he just mentioned Blackwell, which is like the bigger GPU. I don't want to get too technical about this, but I just want to give you an example of how this thing is moving so fast. this Nvidia guy is just off the chains, man. He made Blackwell, which is a bigger GPU, which is faster, better, and all that stuff. Already, there's something even better. There's like 2 other things that are better in the pipeline. So they'll be releasing this stuff like new one every year. So this technology is real. It's moving up fast. I just watched Development Center for Developers Conference for Apple. And hey, even Apple is going to be like, that's where AI is going to be used now. You know, there's all sorts of new things, upgrades onto the software, which are now possible because of AI. And some people can complain about Apple because they don't like it and, oh, they're doing this. But the reality is, I feel like a lot of these things are going to show up on the iPhone. You know, and people are going to be forced to want to upgrade their iPhone so they can access this AI stuff. Now you can, you know, you can say, you can tell Siri to text somebody tomorrow at 10 a.m. and tell them this. And Siri will do that tomorrow. You can arrange all this. Siri can become your assistant now. You know, very soon, no one is going to need a personal assistant. Everything is just going to be, hey, Siri, do this. Siri, book a hotel and organize this and that. And Siri does everything. That's coming. Okay? That's the world we are moving into now. You can either be on the denial side, oh, this is gonna make us dumb, blah 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 blah, and all that stuff. I get it, but this thing is coming, so you gotta be ready. Okay? Now, the reason why I say so, these guys, so all these like the data centers, it's becoming our big business. You know, there's a few companies I've invested in and they've done quite well. One of them is called Vertiv. This thing is going up like 600%. 600% basically means 6 times your money within like a year. You know, it's crazy out. It's crazy what's happening right now. You know, could be a bubble. I don't know. But hey, these companies are making money. Okay? So this is not a financial sort of a video. I don't want to make it into that. But I think what I'm gonna do, because this is why I call my YouTube channel Media, because we're gonna have a financial program in the future that will be talking about these things. But one of the reasons why I brought up this video is because you got data centers which are eating up a lot of copper. You know, this is all over the world. You know, then the second part now, it's because these GPUs, these data centers, gonna need a lot of electricity. Now, electric companies, the grids need to be upgraded. Electric grids around, you know, the US, Europe, whatever, they're gonna need to be upgraded and improved. Okay, for them to cater for this demand in electricity. Now, so this is why they are saying by 2030, the price of copper might even quadruple because of the increase in the use of copper. Now, why am I worried with what's happening in Africa? Look at Zambia. I read the newspapers in Zambia. I look at the headlines and all that stuff. And all I see is these politicians insulting each other. Insulting each other. The opposition said the president did this. The president, and that's what I'm saying. The whole thing is about insulting each other. You know, I have 2 questions about this. Okay, the first one is, are these people aware of what's happening? You know, because I would rather be listening to them and talking about, because we've been fooled to believe, oh, we need investors to come and open up these copper mines, right? Or to sell them this copper mine. Because for some reason, apparently, Zambians can run a copper mine, you know, which is weird. But these people have come in there, they don't pay the right taxes, and now their profits are going to go up 10, 50, whatever times because of this. And no one is talking about the pride of the mine workers. Instead of saying, you know what, the profits, you guys are going to make so much profit. Now, we need to either we need some royalties. So when the price of copper, let's say, is $3,000 a ton, when it goes over $3,000 a ton, every profit you make after that, we're going to need to get at least 40%. You can do that because they're already making a profit, but no one is saying these things. You know, the copper miners, I think for the next 6 years, we want their salaries to be increasing. You can even say 40% because people in Africa get paid so peanuts. They get paid peanuts. You can even say we want the prices to be increasing 50%, and they will still be very, very affordable. You know, but no one is saying all this stuff. All these people are just insulting themselves. I don't get it. Some of these guys are very educated, you know, so I don't understand why they're not talking about this. And also the people themselves don't know what's happening, because they're not asking the government to talk about these copper prices. They're not talking about copper. You're one of the top producers of copper in the world, and the society is not talking about this. Can you just imagine that? And everyone is just... But here's the thing. Here's my second question. Do you think, is there any chance that people in Africa have been conditioned to think a certain way? Like we've been conditioned to, you know, because when I look around, I see, and I'm going to do a video about this. I don't want to bring up too many things. But if you look at some of the newspapers that are run in Africa, they are actually not owned by Africans in most countries in Africa. You know, and even the media itself is not owned by Africans. Even most of the banks in Africa are not owned by Africans. You know, so don't you think these guys maybe manipulate the media to only talk about stupid stuff, what I call stupid stuff, something that has no benefit to the people whatsoever? So people just are always so confused, because, you know, like when you look at how that's why I say I don't want to bring this topic up, but when you look at how even this the women movement, the feminist movement stuff, you know, women started talking about this and started believing in it, but it's become actually quite detrimental to their, not just to their well-being, but also it becomes detrimental to, you know, the basic foundation of a community, which is a family, has been affected negatively. But all these things were not done. This conversation didn't start because it was good for society, now, because it was good for companies to make money. So if the mining companies are not run by Africans, if the media companies are not run by Africans, don't you think there's an opportunity these people connive to work together and say, you know what, keep these people occupied with rubbish news in the media, let them be occupied while we take the stuff and we'll give you a little bit of money. We'll say, oh, we are buying your ads or something like that, or we are putting ads on your channels and we pay you extra money. Because I don't understand it. This is something big that every nation is talking about in Asia. Even when I'm watching like CNBC, you know, they will talk about North America, South America, Europe, and Asia. No one says anything about Africa. You know, I was checking the other day about miners of Bitcoin in Africa. I saw a little bit in South Africa, which is probably white kids. I saw like a little bit in Kenya and Nigeria, just a little bit. But when you open up Europe and the Middle East, oh man. You know, something. There's a coin, there's a crypto coin called Helium. Something. Nobody in Africa is mining these things. You know, but these are the same people who are complaining about money. So I'm just trying to think, like, we are so occupied with rubbish. You know, go to church, praying, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You know, people believe some of the most ridiculous stuff. There's an idiot preacher in Zambia called Sia One. He's not even a Zambian. The dude is Nigerian. But he's going to Zambia and he's made a lot of money. People give this guy to pray for them so that the next day they wake up and he promises them money. And they'll give you money. You see, like, people occupied with that kind of crap. And they're not occupied with things that will actually benefit them and help them move forward. Guys, look into AI. Not just ChatGPT, but then peel the veil and look behind what's happening. Because there's going to be an explosion in demand for African minerals. And if we are not ready, we're going to miss out again. And AI is going to increase productivity in countries that are adopting it. In Africa, they're not adopting that kind of stuff yet. And if we stay behind, because I think at every university in Africa, they should have these supercomputers that NVIDIA sells for $250,000. But hey, they're not going to do it. However, they'll give their politicians millions of dollars in salaries. How do you develop like that? You can't. So this is what I'm saying. Africa is going to be left behind. I'm going to add more to this video, but I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. I want you to look into this. And also, I want you guys, if there's any family members or people who have families watching these videos, please, please, I'm not saying don't pray. Each to their own, whatever you believe in. But let us bring up these topics where it's like, let's start looking in the mirror. Also, let's talk about, if you are a father, your kids know something you don't know. Ask them about technology and what's going on. Just have those conversations at the dinner table or supper. Same thing, dinner, supper, whatever, table, and discuss some of these topics. It's amazing. It's amazing what's happening in the world. And some people can get scared, yes. Because now AI, they're going to be robots that's going to be doing things like humans. There was a thing that American defense just did recently, a dogfight between a jet had no pilot using AI and another jet, same everything using a pilot, and AI beat the human 100% of the time. So that's where the world is going. We cannot just be praying all the time. I personally believe, that's what I'm saying, there's a lot of things I want to say about this, but I'm trying to make it small. I personally believe we need to start thinking a lot more. Thanks, guys, and thank you for watching my video. Goodbye.